Well, let's hear now from the Deputy Prime Minister of the UK, David Lammy, who has stepped up his attacks against Nigel Farage. He's now claiming that Farage was flirting with the Hitler Youth.
I will leave it for the public to come to their own judgments about someone who once flirted with Hitler Youth when he was younger. That is for the public.
Now, Douglas, I know that Lammy is not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm pretty sure Nigel Farage was born around 20 years after the Hitler Youth disbanded. What is he on about there? And what about this turning down the temperature and not having this rhetoric that could lead to violence? Have we forgotten that already?
Oh, of course they've forgotten it. That stuff never lasts more than a few minutes, if not a few hours. You could see on David Lammy's face there as he said it, he was trying to work out whether he should go there. His eyes flickered for a moment as he was trying to work out whether this was the one to wheel out. David Lammy, as I've never stopped enjoying reminding people, appeared on Celebrity Mastermind some years ago and asked in the general knowledge round which king succeeded Henry VIII, answered Henry VII. Now, that being said, it's perfectly possible that in David Lammy's mind, Nigel Farage, as a boy, travelled back in time to flirt with joining the Hitler Youth. And so we must allow David Lammy these brain farts. But I mean, yes, again, it's just woeful, isn't it, Rita? It's just woeful. We have prime ministers, deputy prime ministers of just such a low caliber. And they really do think that if they call mainstream politicians who they're trying to beat at the ballot box and in the polls, if they call them Hitler, flirting with Hitler Youth, fascist, Nazi, everything else, populist. If they do all of that, then they can win the argument. It's absolutely woeful. And they would hate that if it was done to them. And I suppose at some point, people with fewer morals, or indeed the same morals as them in these matters, as little adherence to truth, might well play that round at them. And wow, how they'll scream then, you know?
Absolutely. Now, before you go, I don't know if you caught this story. The NHS, the National Health Service, has come under fire for claiming that first cousin marriage is linked to stronger extended family support systems and economic advantages. There you go, Douglas. Never mind the moral issue or the very serious birth defects of children born from these unions. Apparently, there's all sorts of economic advantages.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that the National Health Service, which is, by the way, as you know, one of the largest employers in the world, somewhere around the same figures as the Chinese Communist Party's army, the idea that the National Health Service, which is so woeful at providing actual health care to the British public, would think to be stepping into the realm of giving advice on the economics of certain marital unions. Actually, they should stick with the health stuff, which they just don't do very well. The NHS, if it was being honest, would admit to the fact that the children of cousin marriages are more than twice as likely as other children to suffer severe birth defects. That is a shocking and terrible statistic. And it's not like it's something we don't see in a country like Britain. It's 20 years now since the Labour MP Anne Cryer said that in her constituency in the north of England, the hospitals had a serious problem with the children of cousin marriages of people from Pakistan and Bangladesh in particular, coming to the UK, having children with severe birth defects, and that this was putting strains on the National Health Service. Of course, then as now, everybody decides to shoot the messenger, and lots of people said Anne Cryer, the Labour MP, was racist for raising this issue about the welfare of children and the standing of the NHS. But, you know, this is a classic example of something everyone can now notice, which is that entities like the NHS effectively try to retrofit their own purpose in order to fit in with the diverse multicultural society. The NHS must know that if it put out guidance saying, please don't marry your first cousin from Mirpur, even if your dad says you're going to get a great wedding dowry, don't do it, because you're very likely to have a child with unbelievably problematic health issues from birth. That would be a really good thing to do. But of course, that might get the NHS into trouble, because after all, it would be true. And I mean, what right do they have to tread into this domain? It's such an indictment, not just of the NHS and its leadership, but of a society in which stories like this come out now almost on a daily basis.
It just shows you how corrupted that bureaucracy is with this poisonous thinking. It really is crazy. But I just want to point out to the viewers that President Trump has again praised your work, Douglas. I noticed this all over X and social media sites. President Trump is saying to go out and purchase this book, impactful book on democracies and death cults. It's quite a good endorsement there, Douglas, the leader of the free world, encouraging people to read your latest work.
Yes, I was very pleased to see that. The president issued that truth over the weekend as he was preparing for the meetings on the peace deal that's being put forward in the Middle East. So I was very pleased that my recent book was at the forefront of his mind on that, or anywhere in his mind on that. I think it was. I was very flattered that would be the case. And yes, I mean, there's a lot in the book that I think could be useful to people considering the future of the region, because there are a lot of unpopular truths and unpopular facts which I encourage my readers to absorb, and which I'm very, very glad when political leaders show that they are absorbing those uncomfortable truths and facts as well.
Douglas Murray, thank you so much for your time.
Great pleasure as always. Thank you.